All right. Says, hang on. Oh. I think it says that we're live. Hang on. What do we got? Yes, we are live. Okay. Dr. Scott?
Yes.
Guess what? We're live.
You are.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean.
I'm still not awake yet.
Why not?
I have things to do, and I'm just like in the middle of every crisis in the world. And I have to jump Lynn's car battery now because it's dead.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we have a recall that's getting fixed on Monday, and it keeps draining her car battery.
So what are you going to do, like coming out here and such?
I gotta jump her car. It'll be okay for a couple days. I'm gonna bring my battery charger with me, and I'm gonna charge it at her parents' house tonight.
Oh boy.
Yeah, fun.
Okay, so let's start this out right. Welcome everybody. This is the live coverage of GDEX and CORGSCON 2025. We are going to be live all weekend long for your viewing pleasure. If you want to come up, you can participate. We're going to be doing different panels here as well as audience participation. We're going to talk all about all things gaming. I am here physically in this building, but for today only, Dr. Scott is joining me, and he is remote, but he'll be here tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Is tomorrow Saturday?
Tomorrow
yes,
is Saturday.
I don't even know what day it is right now.
You got to get up. You got to get up with the days. You got to get back to what you're doing. So we welcome everybody that's joining us live here. I want to also get this up on the website here. You know, we've overcome a lot of challenges here. I'll be honest. Streaming here in this remote location. I know you guys can't really see it, but I'll post pictures later on Instagram. We just had a lot of differences. I'm working with a brand new crew this week, which is cool. They're doing the best they can, and but space is key, right? So we've been trying to work within the space, which the venue, Chris, the runner of GDEX, has been very, very accommodating, which is awesome. It's been really, really good. And so,
yeah, I sent him some shoes to shine, and he's doing those right now.
Is
really
it
nice
for your appearance later, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you have those shoes. You know, the new shoes that I got, I got these new sneakers from Bull Airs, right? And like I've been waiting since February to get them. This was a pre-order, and the stupid snap broke on it. So I'm hoping they can just send me a new strap. I don't need a new shoe. I even told them, I was like, just send me the new strap. If you got the new strap, just send it. So hopefully they can get that out to me.
I hope so.
And let's see here. We got Mysticles. He's joining us here in the chat. I'm going to pull that up here for
you.
What's going on? Mysticles will be here tomorrow.
Yes, he will.
One of the things that we're going to be doing here is not just live here at GDEX, but we're able to bring in people from all over the world to participate with this panel, this physical panel in a virtual world, in a virtual panel, Scott, just like you. You were the guinea pig today to get everything going. So how does that make you feel?
I don't know. I don't feel anything. I'm numb. I think it's actually kind of cool, because when you said that the panel that we were supposed to be doing was moved, I'm like, I'm not there.
Well, that was smart by saying that. Yeah, because we have that panel. So if you guys are interested, if anybody's out there and you're listening, and so I'm going to work with my son here as he's producing this, and he's doing a really good job.
Oh, gosh, we're screwed.
No, Daniel's like, hey. So he'll build his cadence.
It's not Samantha. Come on, you got the B team there, right? So, I'm just kidding, Daniel. I'm just kidding. I love you too.
Daniel's like, no. So I've been working with Daniel, and it's like when I'm talking dominantly, put me full screen. When we're kind of having a conversation back and forth, you and I, we have it, side by side. But then when you're talking dominantly, put you full screen. Okay.
Me?
Yeah, I know. You're. Does that bless your little heart?
It makes me feel like Superman.
Okay.
There he is.
So,
little Superman.
yeah, and I told him, I was like, go ahead and pull off the lower third, the chat there that's there, after we get a message up. And then I told him I'll kind of direct him. So, it's a little bit unorthodox, but, it works. And he's learning. And so this is something that he's going to want to do. But this is going to be really cool. We're going to have a panel at 3 to 3:45 here at my booth. If you're here at GDEX...
I don't know if I can go to 3:45. I mean, maybe 3:40,
Well, you don't have a choice. You already made me bring you in virtually, so you don't have a choice. What's going to happen is we're going to talk about content creation in the gaming space, and I'm going to be joined. I have a gentleman that is very big on Twitch. Mike's going to be joining, and we're going to be talking about content creation. Dr. Scott's going to be here. He's going to talk from the post-production side of things. And I'm going to talk more from the live side of things as far as like what I'm doing right now. Live podcast, live video cast. That's the other thing I want to ask. You guys did hit record, right? He just hit record just now. That's all right. So I see Mike. Mike, he's walking over here right now. So Scott, he's just kind of popping in. So we we have this panel. It's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern to 3:45. So make sure you guys tune in.
Looking forward to that.
And we actually have a Skycam. We're going to really put Daniel to the test here. We're going to have.
There's going to be a Skycam too.
Well, it's kind of like a Skycam, so you can see like the arcades. But we're going to have Daniel pull up camera 4, and then push that live, and then you guys can kind of see what's going on in like the audience area here as well. And don't forget,
hey, look at that.
If you put it in preview too, Daniel, you can move it around.
Hey, there's some candy caps.
So I'm going to kind of direct him as we're doing this. And then you can go ahead and move that around. Show. We got some folks here in the Mike's there. He's going to be joining me later, so you guys will have to wait for that. But that.
Hey, you on the Mario Kart! You stink. That's right. Just give it up to somebody else right now. I can't believe how terrible you are at Mario Kart. Get off of that.
They're not even paying attention to you.
He can't hear me.
He can't hear you.
You, sir, number 19, right there in front of the candy cab. Give me your wallet.
So Dr. Scott's going to be joining us Saturday, but we got him virtual right now. So he's at home in his studio. Actually, he's getting ready. All right, Daniel, you can bring us back up. So we're going to be doing that throughout the weekend. We're going to have that showing. But Dr. Scott he will be here in person. Gamer Aimer is supposed to be joining us on Saturday morning, I believe. Now that we've got all the bugs worked out, thanks to my
well, now that we can do this, why should I come? I'll just stay right here.
Well,
here we go.
You're just going to miss out on all the hands-on action. That's all I got to say.
Oh, all right. I'll get in the car and come.
You know what the hands-on action is? When you help me tear down on Sunday. That's about the only...
I thought maybe somebody was just going to grab hold of me and shake me really hard. What the heck's the matter with you?
That's the only hands-on action you're going to get this weekend is by helping me tear down on Sunday. So I just figured I'd put that out there.
To that. I actually think that's fun, tearing down.
Well, it is to an extent. Like like we were talking with some of the other guys. It's difficult because you got to take your time and everything's tedious in putting it together. But actually, I think it'll be faster than setting it up.
Well, to quote Mr. Spock from Star Trek 3, classically speaking, it is easier to destroy than to create.
Yes. Did you, Mike, did you ever find out what we're talking about? You can come up and join me if you want. We're going to really put him to the test here.
No, he can't.
Daniel just was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no, a third camera. Darn it.
Daniel, we're going to make it easy. We're going to give you camera 1. He's going to be, that's where you're going to be able to pull him up. Go ahead and sit right down here and put some headphones on.
Did you call him off from school yesterday and today?
I did. I figured it's a good learning experience. So I'm going to let Mike kind of, once we get him on here, I think this is microphone 3, right?
He was only going to be learning grammar this week.
Oh, maybe that's not it. Go ahead now. It's one of these microphones, I swear.
How about now?
Hey, there we go. Let me mute those. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. We got him. We got Mike up here.
Yay!
So, Daniel, it's okay if you want to switch back and forth between that. He's going to adjust the screens and stuff. So, audience members, give him a little. This is his first time producing. My daughter usually helps me with this. She'll be here on Saturday. But why don't you introduce yourself to the folks, while we're Well, he's getting set up. We got Mysticles in the chat room here too.
Well, that the audience members, if you guys have like fruit with you, you can throw that, like or lettuce or anything like that.
Dr. Scott will be here on Saturday, so feel free to throw fruit at him in person when he's here. Don't do it to
I'll
us.
have a basket.
You don't want any of that, Mike.
Well, so my name is Mike, Izzy Dojo on social media. Been doing this for about 4.5 years now. So looking forward to the show. I do GDEX every year. Been here for the last 7.5 years. Excited.
He hasn't left the building.
I have not. I actually hide upstairs in that room in the air conditioning. So if you guys see me up
Or
there,
Mike
throw
has to
some
put
food.
up with me.
How's his audio? Are you able to hear him pretty good? Okay, cool. The other thing, how's your audio in your head? Does it need to come up?
Yeah, probably needs to come up just a hair.
Mike, I dig your Macho Man
Good.
Randy Savage glasses. Those are cool.
Yes, these are amazing. They
Oh,
help keep the fruit out of my eyes when people throw food at me.
You're like, hey, don't instigate him. Don't.
Very good.
So why don't we? So Mike's going to come over. We're actually at 3:00 today. I invited Mike over. Dr. Scott's going to join us virtually.
Okay.
He's going to talk more about the post-production. He does that. I mean, he does a lot of graphic design, and people always want to know with like curating content. I was going to kind of approach it from the live aspect, and you're awesome with live and streaming video games live.
Yes.
I kind of dabbled with it a little bit, so I'm probably going to learn a little bit from you with that. I do more of this. Mm-hmm. This is my cup of tea, if you will.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and I don't stream video games very often.
You don't stream at all.
But no, I do.
No, you're a poser.
I haven't done it in several months, but
He's a poser.
What I do though is I actually I've had Mysticles join me, I've had Johnny Graphics join me, I've had Mike from Mike's Gaming Gala join me, and I actually have them all physically there at the bottom of the screen. And I have them basically make fun of me while I'm doing very badly playing.
But that's not hard to do.
No, it's not. It's not hard to do at all.
But you know what was really cool? Some of the devs were walking around, and they were like, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to be streaming live all weekend. We're going to do an hour on, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back. We'll because I got to walk around the floor yet and record. So I said, we'll take an hour break, then we'll come back live again, and then we'll go, because this is going out to YouTube. We've got the chat room here right now with Mysticles. I see Gamer Amers in the chat room right now.
Yay!
So, Daniel, you want to pull up
Go Pittsburgh!
Yeah, please don't instigate her and get her going. So you guys out there, you'll be able to see the live comments from the chat room that people are in YouTube right now, as we'll be able to pull that up. We've got a sophisticated situation going on here. Like you should have saw me this morning. I was sweating it.
I saw when I came in and you were over here on the phone trying to figure things out. I'm like, I'll come back by a little bit later.
So what happened was there was a Windows update. Always Windows, right?
Oh, joy.
And we weren't able to hear Scott, so I had to call him on the phone and be like, okay, can you hear me now? I felt it was like the old Verizon commercials, like, can you hear me now?
It was a Sprint commercial.
Yeah, so Brandy's doing the whole Go Pittsburgh. Have you heard that story? Did I tell you that, sir?
She can't do that in Cleveland. She will get killed.
Yeah, you can't do it in Cleveland.
So just for the folks listening and watching.
Not even joking.
Brandy's based out of Maryland, around the Baltimore area. Okay. So we're sitting at a panel at PGX last year, and it was a big Pittsburgh Steelers game that day.
Okay.
So she's sitting there, and I think they might even, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, they were playing the Ravens.
I think you're right.
So she goes, "Go Ravens!" And I swear it was like every arcade in the room turned off, every person stopped talking, everything just, and they all glared at her, and the guy that was sitting next to her went like this. And everybody, and she's like, "What did I say?" And we're like, "You don't say that in You don't say that in Pittsburgh. They're arch enemies. You don't do that."
And the only reason why they are arch enemies is because they used to be the Cleveland Browns, and they are arch enemies.
So then she went, "Go Pittsburgh!" It was too late. We thought we were going to get kicked out.
So I met Gamey Amer a couple years ago. I've seen her a couple times, so I do know who she is, but I didn't know where she was located. So now I do.
Well, that'll be cool when
I'll
you'll be
send
around
you the
all
address.
weekend. when you're around all weekend. The goal is to get her on tomorrow, now that we've got the bugs worked out with the audio, and thanks to Scott, because he's so annoying that we can get the voice patterns go up and down, up and down, up and down, so we can find that sweet spot. I'm sorry, Scott, you're still listening, right?
Huh? What?
That works.
He muted us.
So you just I don't know. We don't want to really get into your panel, like the panel that we have later on. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I think people don't realize is you run into problems with copyright.
Yes.
I mean, why don't you tell everybody just kind of how many followers, I guess it is, on Justin TV, right, or our Twitch? How many? And then they killed your monetization, right?
So Twitch, I have 100,000 followers. On YouTube, I have like 16,000. The big problem is Fortnite and the emojis and BioShock and the 1970 copyrights. So with the copyright stuff, for the most part, BioShock's released most of their copyrights, but Fortnite will never release them. Even if it's a small segment, they just go crazy on it. So a couple days ago, about 4 or 5 days before we came to GDEX, we got a strike. Well, not a strike. It's called a pause in monetization, which means I can't make any money off of anything on YouTube until I come into compliance with everything. That from like a 10-second or a 5-second bit of a song, everything has to be within. And the problem with BioShock is you can't cut a segment out without losing the voice actors in the back. It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
So I'm fighting them because I believe that if stuff is from the 70s and there's no current copyright on it with anybody, why isn't it free use? Just like when you buy a video
not
game.
just that, but it's integrated into the game. You can't remove it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my argument with YouTube right now is that there's music I can't remove. There's voiceovers I can't remove. Now, newer technology like Fortnite, the audio file is different. You can turn
it off. Yeah.
So I can get rid of the emote sounds, which makes the emojis kind of useless.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can keep any speech that I'm doing or anything a character would say wouldn't be impacted by that music segment. But you can't do that with other games. And so I've run into this problem time and time and time again. It's always with YouTube, not like Twitch don't care. You can do anything on Twitch. They won't care as long as you get the viewership.
Yeah, they're not pretentious over there.
So just for the I'm not telling you to divulge what you're making, but give us a dollar range, like how much you're losing, like say on a video. You could be losing what, $2,000 to $3,000.
So I could be losing between $1,700 to $3,400.
So this is a big deal. Like when you build your channel, people don't realize that. Like oh well, you're pennies on the dollar. But no, when you get those high numbers, you're making some good.
When you're getting thousands of viewers on one video alone, you're making good money.
Yeah.
So like the videos that don't do too good, that get like 50 or 100.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, those never get the copyright strikes. It always seems like get the copyright strikes when a video hits 1,000. It's like magically YouTube's like, well, let's investigate this video. Oh, we don't like this copyright, and then it restricts the view. Like some of my videos in BioShock were restricted from like a lot of different countries where they couldn't be viewed. And a lot of my viewerships come from like different places. I mean, I get a lot of viewers from like Canada, and a lot of my viewership from Canada was cut off. Like people said they couldn't even see the video as soon as they touched it.
Oh, they restricted it to other countries.
Countries and territories.
But it's obvious why they're doing that. So that way it has nothing to do with actual copyright laws or anything. It's just because they don't want to pay you.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. So currently we're reworking it with GDEX coming in this year. The goal is to we're going to revamp the whole panel. I was just talking to a couple of developers that I know. We're going to do more panels with independent contractors and developers, artists. We're going to do a lot of developer-related content. We're just going to do more content that's focused towards people in video game development. We're still going to do the video games. We're always going to do that. But we're just going to do it differently because I can't afford to always be hit by YouTube's craziness.
So for the folks that are watching, they've never been to GDEX. This is my first year, so I can't speak on this. What can people expect from GDEX? If you're thinking about it, you're going to be watching things going on here, seeing the content that you're creating, that I'm creating. What can people expect this weekend from GDEX?
Okay, so GDEX is really cool. So If you've never been to GDEX, when you come to GDEX, you haven't been here,
Yeah.
you get to meet a multitude of different people. You get to see different new gamers, new game developers that are developing games based on their likes and what they want in their games, and they're looking for feedback. A lot of these are Kickstarters. You'll see a lot of Kickstarters where people are trying to just get enough money to get their project going so they can get more out there. You're going to see a lot of stuff going on stream. Or Steam, not stream.
Steam. Yeah, Steam.
Steam. You're going to notice a lot of people out there that take your feedback very personal. You're going to see Extra Life's here. They always help out with. I mean, if you know who Extra Life is, I really don't need to go into too much detail. But you get the retro gaming. You get the classrooms. The classrooms are big. If you're a game developer, or you want to become a game developer, or you want to dive into it, the coolest thing about it is you can go to these classes and meet people who are already doing it for a living, like have got succeeded. Like this year, you got DB Cooper there here. You have Michael. I can't say his last name. It's crazy looking. But, he's a voiceover. He did Elof with I think it's Pixar. But you get a lot of cool people here that will divulge information about the industry. So you get to meet a lot of industry people here that are like-minded or that want to do cool things. And when you come here, you're like home. I mean, I love this place. I consider this place home to me. I've been coming here for a very long time, and you come here and everybody's welcoming. You're not going to find no negativity in this place.
Right.
But the cool thing is that when you guys saw that overlook, the sky cam, you see the old school cabinets with all the old school games. You can come here and just relax. Nobody's going to judge you for what you put out there or what you want to become or what you are. They come and they check out your games. There's exhibitors here selling cool little crafts, and you just get to be at home. So for me, yes, it's home.
So Scott, real quick, when I mute you, the echo goes away. Do you have the audio on the stream that you're watching with the chat? Because no. Did you notice that echo went away?
I noticed it.
So I'm wondering, Scott, if you you don't have the audio playing on the stream?
I do not have the audio playing on the stream.
All right.
And now I can't hear you at all.
That's what I figured. Can you hear me now?
I can.
There we go. Maybe I should keep it that way that he can't hear me.
I
can hear you now.
He'll just start lip reading. Yeah.
All the audience members are like, yeah. That's okay. I'll watch on the phone with low volume. So we got a lot of these guys coming in here. If you guys are interested, I know for myself, you were reading my bio. You stopped by yesterday when I was setting up. I was asking you all these questions because I had never been here, and I'm going for the complete North American collection of the NES. And I'm probably about 450, 460, but I have two of the heavy hitters already. I have Stadium Events, and I have Little Samson. Mm-hmm. So those are the two of the heavies. But what I'm interested in looking at here coming around is trying to find any kind of... Whoa. Somebody's
changing headphones.
See, this is,
these are open backs. My microphone.
See what he does?
Up.
He causes. I'm sitting here.
My open back.
Do you guys? Yeah. Do you guys see what happens here? He's blaming me. We've got the audience sitting here going, "There's an echo." He's like, "I didn't do it. And then, doing all this. Anyways, so I'm looking.
Does it sound better now?
Yes. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's these.
It's like music to my ears, Scott.
A lot better.
Yeah, the echo should be gone.
I'm buying a set of closed back ones soon. So.
Okay. So can I finish my thought now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I'm looking for is hopefully if there's an NES title here that people are working on for like independent, I think that'd be really cool. I like go after a lot of the independent because it's cool to still see after 35 years there's people are still making physical media.
So there are a couple of creators here. They're not here. It doesn't look like they're here this year.
No.
They do develop the NES cartridges, and they put their
like Mega Cat Studios. I've gotten a lot of stuff from those guys. Those guys are pretty cool.
There's a couple guys here that do it too. There's a lot of retro gamers here.
Okay, so we'll have to check it out. But yes, let's see here. Yeah, see, Dr. Scott causing chaos. CNC Games Company CEO, you guys will have to check him out if you're not familiar with him. Remember I was telling you about, you were mentioning about the people that make 3D prints. He's one that also makes 3D prints. Like if you're up in Cleveland. Are you going to Cleveland?
Yeah, I'll be at Cleveland.
Check his booth out. He'll be at Cleveland. He's got this giant
definitely check
manual.
out his booth.
Yeah.
And their store is absolutely amazing too. There's a video on my channel that's all about CNC Games store out of Fremont. You got to check it out.
You see, you got to see how he does that. He just slides in. Make sure you check out my channel.
Yep.
Well, no, I'm not. I know.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
The Mega Man that you bought was actually in his window at the time when I filmed.
Yes.
So
if you hadn't seen it, I have almost a 4-foot Mega Man that I bought from him.
It's sweet.
That's 3D printed. It kind of resembles the old Rockman. I mean, I know they're the same, but it looks really, really cool. So I have that in the corner. It's a great addition to my collection. People come into the room and they're just like, whoa, like having that. And then I also have some like smaller Marios. He's got a giant Mario that I want. So
just steal from him.
Listen, I told him about a trade that I wanted to do. He said he'd think about it. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to do that. But I also noticed walking around, there's a lot of other folks vending like looks like crafts and stuff like that. So I think that'd be kind of cool to check out.
So they have an artist alley where people draw and do art stuff. You have a vendor alley area over there where it's like 3D printing, crafts, and things that are sewed together. There's a lot of cool things this year. You're not going to really find anything that repeats itself.
And then they merged with Korgs for this year. Gary Carnucci, he runs Korgs. Great guy. I've worked with him for many, many years. Been a guest at his convention almost every year for the past almost 4 years. We were a little disappointed this year because Scott, you and I, we usually go. When is it? Like usually, like May, June-ish is when he.
May, June-ish, yeah.
So he usually does it then, and then, unfortunately, the dates weren't available, right? Mm-hmm. So what he ended up doing was merging with that. So in the back here, they're going to be all moving stuff in today, and they're going to, like, if you want to get those retro game fixes and buying those games and making your wallet get thinner and thinner as the weekend goes on. That's the thing. I know Marbs is sitting out here in the audience. He already bought Xbox games yesterday. He was already.
You mean he doesn't have them all yet?
No, he doesn't
have them all by
now. He went around. We're setting up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go case the place." He walks around. He comes back and buys all these Xbox. I didn't even know what happened to him yesterday. He just vanished.
Marbs, there's this really cool game called Halo. You can check that one out.
He's shaking his
head.
If
you don't have that one yet.
But there's going to be a bunch of different creators that are going to be coming. Mysticallys will be here tomorrow. Retro
got this guy in it. Yeah. This hi.
Bring your fruit for this guy, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I prefer vegetables, thank you.
So originally, you were asking me what time we were going to start. So I had it set for 11 o'clock. Then I changed it to 12 o'clock, and then we went to 12:30 because we had to fine-tune the audio, get everything dialed in. And so it'll be really cool. How you doing, sir?
And the beautiful graphics.
Can we get him a take a wireless mic over him because we can't hear him up here. Just go ahead and press the button on. So I'm working with my rookies here. Just press and hold it, and it should light up. All right, and then we'll go over here, and then I will unmute. Go ahead, let's hear. Let's see if we got it. Do we have audio? Hold it up to him so we can hear it.
Why didn't they put this in a conference room or back further out? So the boys here, you can't hear anything.
You can't hear what we're saying? Well, we can turn it up a little bit. We were trying to be a little bit more
Well, we can take over the whole place.
We were trying to be respectful for the folks that are playing the rhythm games. We can turn up we can turn it up in a little bit. No, but we want people to see it. This is why Chris put it here.
It's prime real estate.
This is prime real estate. We pay good money for this.
I play some Megadeth right now.
You got to know.
Copyright strike.
You got to know the right people to get a space like this.
I know.
I'm just saying.
This is the best spot in the whole place.
So. We appreciate that. But later on, we are doing a panel here. We are doing one panel here at 3 o'clock. So make sure you sit in the front row if you can't hear us.
I can turn it all the way up.
I can't
we'll turn it up so you can hear us or hear it. So that'll be at 3 o'clock. but we wanted to come on and talk to the folks here on YouTube as well. So, but we also do a podcast every Wednesday called Game Masters, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's a lot of fun. We like to. I was telling you about this because you're just telling me that you were going to be starting a podcast soon.
Yes.
And one of the things, I was telling him, I said, I wanted to diversify it a little bit. I wanted it to be something like, let's not just come on and talk about gaming news. We wanted it to be something that people could take something away from it. They could say like, oh, how do I do this, or how do I go about this? And so we took that approach to it. And it's been pretty good so far. We're 11 episodes in, so.
Yeah, I think when your content is really aimed, if you have like a centered aim, focused type of goal, I feel like you can gain more followers and you gain more of a atmosphere. So like my podcast is going to be more towards game developers and upcoming people. I'd like to get the youth involved. I think me and you talked about yesterday that right now, even in the trades like carpentry and all these, and plumbers and electricians, the trades are really lacking. Nobody's motivated because they don't got good teachers. So if we, like you and me, if we all team up and we start working together and we start pushing like retro gaming and newer gaming and design and development and level making and all these things that people just can't really get grasp on, because you go on YouTube and you type in game development, you always get old videos or videos where the creators no longer update anything. Like you get on a video right now and you try to do something with like HTML and you look it up, like some of these videos are 4 or 5 years old, and then if you go into their comments and you make a comment on it, nobody ever responds to it. Be like, well, hey, I'm having this issue. That comment could sit there for years and nobody will ever respond because the creator doesn't go back through his stuff. So I feel like in some ways, some content creators, not me or maybe not even you, they don't try to keep in connection with their audience. And when you can't do that, when you can't provide the secondary handshake is what I call it. Yeah. Because if I'm talking to you and you're listening, but you're not responding with anything, that's not really a handshake. A handshake is when somebody gives something back. Like me and you talking yesterday, we talked about this episode. We talked about later tonight. We talked about tomorrow. We still don't know what tomorrow's going to be about, but we'll figure it out.
I asked that. Scott did. You didn't hear about that either, right?
No.
What we're talking about tomorrow at the big what is it? A media?
It's a panel. Yeah.
It's a media panel.
Yeah. It's a creator creation panel, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, basically, I just thought we were going to talk about, essentially, the three of us specifically kind of have our own. I mean, we might all dabble into different aspects of the content creation, whether it be me dabbling into game streaming occasionally, but that's not my forte. That's not the thing that I do mostly. So I thought that's what it was going to be. It's like, Stephen does his live thing mostly, and Mike, you do the
I filled them in with
streaming, and then I, a lot of the stuff that I do, if I'm doing, basically my videos have there's basic videos that I do. I consider them very basic, and then I consider the ones that are more epic. They have a lot of effects, and sometimes they have a storyline to them and stuff like that. And those are the ones that sadly do not do well, simply because people don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And also because I'm not that large of a creator. Now, if I were AVGN, that's different. They'll tune into it. But if I had 100,000 followers, people would be going, oh, okay, that's cool. The Knight Rider video that I did very well. But like the one that's coming out here very soon, and I'm okay to say that now, it's called a new series that I'm doing is called The Games They Make You Play in Hell. And the very first video is the Atari 2600 games they make you play in hell. And it's going to be very skit heavy on the back and on the other end. So I do something different, Stephen does something different, you do something different, and that's what I thought we'd be talking about.
That's a good possibility. Here's how I always looked at it. When I first started, I got a lot of good training from people who were able to succeed. And the biggest thing I was always told is your keywords, tags, and everything that you can fit in. Because a lot of my followers tripped over something because they typed in retro gaming and came across some of my Fortnite streams. Fortnite's not retro gaming, but a lot of my content is all over the place, and I use retro gaming. And anytime somebody went to retro, they would come across me, and that's how a lot of my followers found me, was through the gaming of retro tag. Not that it works for everybody, but I tell people, pull out the source. I mean, somebody that was talking about yesterday, D.B. Cooper, she pulled out this big book during her speech, and she held it up, and she's like, this is the Bible. And even though it wasn't the Bible, it was every acronym that she would think of for when she was doing voice acting. When she needed to be angry, she would go to angry, and it would give her a bunch of different verbs, and she used them. Same thing with streaming. I feel like you should have a streaming book, a Bible. You should be able to look at, well, I'm a retro gamer, or I do gaming in general. What do I want to do? And then you got all those keywords, and you type them in, and you would believe it or not, because some of the analytics I've seen on Twitch, or maybe it's not Twitch, maybe it was YouTube, was that basically the keywords that brought these people to my page. And it's about keywords. Keywords is what really pulls people in.
I can agree with that, but I can also wholeheartedly disagree with it just because of the research I've done. Because if you use different things like TubeBuddy, stuff like that, you can look at keywords that people use. And there are keywords that people use, like, for example, John Riggs and Scott the Woz, they've had the same keywords, and they're very, very sparse, or even none on their channels or the videos themselves. And it's just like, how the only reason why I think sometimes, especially like Scott the Woz, and I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say anything positive or negative. This is very neutral. I'm not trying to sidestep. I'm just saying, with his videos, since he already has like 1 million followers anyway, 1 million plus followers, he could basically sit on the toilet and recite Shakespeare, and he's going to get viewers.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing. Once you are subscribed, you always get the alerts, and then you don't really need to use them. But for people like with me, when I first started, retro gaming brought 20,000 followers to my page in the first 13 months. So it works for me. And now I may not have to use tags, but part of my system that I have set up, it automatically adds the tags every time I post a video. May not be the tag that brings them in, but it brought them to my page in the first place, which helped me out a lot.
That's always, and we're going to get into more of this, at 3 o'clock today when we have that panel with that, creation, because I think there's a lot of things that people just think content creation just centers around taking a camera, a microphone, and creating something. They don't stop to think like, okay, what am I going to do with that content afterwards? Like Scott, you made a good point about when you take a lot of, I want to say pride, that would probably be the best way to put it, in a video, and you spend it, and like, especially you make a lot of your videos look like movies. Like, he did one just for the announcement that he's going to be at Pittsburgh. He made it look like he's Indiana Jones going into the Temple of Doom, and he has the Halo guy there, and he picks him up, and it, and then the whole thing. I mean, it's incredible, but it's only like a 2-minute, 3-minute video, Scott?
It's 1 minute and 33 seconds.
But he put so much time in it, and it looks really good. And like he said, the Knight Rider one, but like he said, sometimes people don't watch it, and they'll watch. Yeah. And I've seen that too. Like I'll do like the stupidest videos, like even if it's shot on my phone or something, without doing all this.
And those are the ones that get all the views.
And those are the ones that get all the views.
Yep.
Luckily, the Knight Rider video did get a decent amount of views, but the sad thing about YouTube is, I think that sometimes, even if a video is really good and getting quite a lot of views, they go, I think you've had enough, and then they shut it off.
Okay.
And you can see where it flatlines.
Go ahead.
I have a theory on that. Okay. So this just came off of TikTok a couple of weeks ago, that the attention span of everybody nowadays is 6 to 7 seconds. And after 7 seconds, most people move on. If you look at the average on TikTok, 3 seconds is about the fastest. If you can get their attention in the first 3 seconds, you will always get more seconds of view than you will if you don't catch their attention in the first 3 seconds. And YouTube's the same way. Like, if you look at some of they have these free classes that they give out there. They say if you can't catch the attention span of a kid in the first 3 seconds, it's over.
Wow.
And I've heard a lot of big speakers talk about that too.
I do agree with that, but I actually, my hypothesis goes beyond that. because of the mentality of a lot of people these days, they just want to switch off no matter what. Because, like, just for example, I have some videos that it's like you don't get to the meat and potatoes, you don't get to the punchline until the end of the video.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is people move on before they even. It's kind of like you go to a restaurant, you order the meal, and then you get up and leave before the waitress comes back.
That's attention
It's like-
span,
So you're saying, so what you're saying is people have the attention span of a gnat.
pretty much.
No. I call them guppies. That's my word for them. I call them guppies. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I can
every
see
video
that.
that I have, you can look, and it doesn't even matter how long the video is or how short the video is. They're only going to watch X amount.
But so I agree. So I see it from both sides, your side and the chat room side of it. I've noticed with YouTube Shorts, even though I hate shorts, okay, I do better with views on shorts sometimes. Now, if I'm doing more of a tutorial video, my views will go through the roof. If it's something, so if I sat down and I did a 15-part series of how to build this, my views would be through the roof.
Yes.
Because this is, I mean, it's one of those people want to know how to do it, and they, for whatever reason. So I understand it from that perspective. I probably wouldn't even have to tag it with like crazy tags.
Probably not.
But if it's a niche space or a niche video like you're saying, you need to find those popular tags and tag it. So I do get that.
yeah.
Here's how I look at it. Like with you, like it's so like. I guess my best way of saying it is when there's something there's so much of it out there,
Yeah.
it's harder to get the attention. Like a lot of people see a lot of Fortnite videos. That means my Fortnite videos do okay-ish.
Yeah.
But I don't expect them to. It's just something to put out there for somebody who's bored that wants to watch it. I don't expect to get views. But like something like your setup here, there's a lot of people. It's unique. I can guarantee you probably the only setup that is this involved around. So when you make a video like this, it gets everybody interested. They're like, well, what's that do? What's this do? Because it's a unique niche that nobody else does. Now, if everybody had this setup, no, you probably wouldn't have half the hits. But because it's unique, and like I said, you can catch the attention of somebody, you're going to get the views no matter what. And they're going to watch the video all the way through because they need to know what they need to buy.
So he's being nice right now. Yesterday he came by and he was looking at it, and I had to give him some ibuprofen after he looked around because his head started he started getting his shoulder
rotator cuff.
Yeah, he was starting to. No, I'm just kidding. But no, a lot of people like I like to push the boundaries of things. That's just my mentality. It's always been my mentality. Especially when somebody says you can't do it, I'm like, watch me.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. And one of the things I wanted to be able to do at different conventions this year to be something different was to be able to. I mean, how often we have panels, right? But how cool is it that we're able to bring somebody in remote that's not even here? He will be here. He'll be here tomorrow. So throw.
Yeah, that's part of my
Onions.
Steve Jobs reality distortion field. Because at one time you said, I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, oh, sure, it can be done. And you did it.
So we made it happen. And that was something. I think it's something for these guys over here because, I know a lot of times the guys behind the camera don't get enough, but we've been working with these two. The young guys are my son and Toby over here, and these guys are hungry.
Toby's still there? I fired him earlier. I thought.
Yeah, well, he hired himself back.
Okay, you're rehired. Okay.
But these guys, they're hungry. They want to learn, how to do this kind of stuff. Like you said, I liked what you said about giving back. My son was the other day. He wants to learn a little bit, just for fun, at least right now, about he's really big into MetaQuest 3. Mm-hmm. So he wants to learn how do I implement the SDK. He wants to start developing for it. And I'm like, dude, this is the perfect place for you to be to kind of learn from different people that are devs and ask. I'm not a developer, I'm a computer guy. I could probably figure it out. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you need to talk to different people that you can learn from to do this. And he's 13 years old. Mm-hmm. If I had the knowledge that he has right now at 13 years old, oh my gosh.
Be dangerous.
I mean, these kids are so much better off, and he wants to be a YouTuber. He wants to get out there. And I told him, well, let's go to these conventions. He'll be able to sit here one day and say, you know what? I ran the switcher board. Mm-hmm. I worked on the audio. My dad had me running cables. Mm-hmm.
Now go get me a coffee.
you know too. You got kids. Well, we found out yesterday, which was Scott was kind of funny. He's in the same boat you and I and everybody else is in. It must be something in the water.
I don't know. You know, you got to start over after you have the oldest kid. 17.
You got to start over
all the way over with 1 year.
So he has a 17-year-old. I've got a 17-year-old. I've got a 13-year-old. You've got 14-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that plural.
2.
And then you also have what's the next stage?
So we have a 17, a 15, and then 2 14s.
15. I missed the 15.
Yep, we have that.
And then you have
A 1-year-old.
a 1-year-old, and I've got a 2-year-old. Scott, you have
I have a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old, and now a 7-year-old.
And now a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Start all the way over.
So I just want to let everybody
but
know.
She just came knocking on the door, and we let her in because she didn't have anything else to do.
Well, why didn't we get that option?
Come on in. We'll find you a bed.
So I'll let everybody know, check the water before you drink it.
Yeah, and make sure you freeze your onions tomorrow for Scott. He likes it when you throw.
Wait, I just thought of something.
Yes.
You know what the other commonality here? We're all from Ohio.
We are.
It must be something in the water here. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well, so I'm from Northern Ohio. I'm up by Cleveland. Where are you from?
I'm the Hubbard area, so near Youngstown.
And where's
And I'm from about 30 miles west of Cleveland. I'm right between Sandusky and Cleveland. That's where I'm from.
So you're my neighbor.
So yeah, you're neighbors.
I'm from South Amherst.
I'm Elyria.
So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
So welcome to the group. Enjoy that 2.5-hour drive tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Well, it won't be that bad because I'll be heading off to Troy, Ohio tonight, so it'll only be an hour and 15-minute drive for me tomorrow morning.
Go Pittsburgh.
And
Go
Brandy,
Pittsburgh.
And Brandy goes, go Pittsburgh. We need to get a shirt with Brandy and then it says go Pittsburgh.
No.
Marbs is shaking his head no.
We gotta get one that says. We need to get one that says Ohio State.
Yeah, we'll get them on host. They have a Buckeye store in there. My son, I'm not a Browns fan. I hate to say this. I'm going to say this because the game was on last night. I'm a Cowboys fan.
I'm not a Browns fan myself, so.
Okay.
I used to be.
And the Eagles beat us by a 4-point. But the Cowboys have sucked for the last 35 years, so.
And I am an Indians fan because there's no such thing as the Guardians.
Yeah,
Fight it.
I was going to say, I can't do Guardians. But we're going to have to make Gamer Amy brown shirt for sure.
She said, make it. Well, she'll pay. What's Marbs over here? Here we go again, Brandy.
She needs a Steelers shirt, and then it needs to say Browns and tape over top of it.
Hey, now, you can't say that. She's like, Cowboys suck. Yeah, I know. That's the sad part. But I'm an Ohio State fan, so, I've gotten more into college football than regular NFL football.
So, question: you obviously haven't had a chance to walk the showroom floor yet. But what are you looking the most? What are you excited to see here?
So, for me, being new to this space, in the sense of GDEX, this space, I'm interested in seeing what people are doing to keep some of the retro systems alive. The old cartridge, the HuCar like TurboGrafx 16, which I never had one as a kid. But I've always wanted one as I got to an adult. I ended up buying one. I bought a completely recapped Turbo Express that has LCD screen. It's like my go-to handheld with a...
Stone Age Gamer did that for you, right?
Stone Age Gamer did that for me, and it has an EverDrive in it. Okay. So I'm looking for, some people that are trying to keep that system alive, that have cartridges, Super Nintendo, Genesis, all that stuff. People don't understand these CD games, after a while, they ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Because of all the patches and updates. Once they shut the servers down, that's it. You're done. Okay. So, I don't know.
That's why I like being able to install my games to my hard drive on my 360. I mean, that was an innovation back then. I thought was really cool because then you're not reading off the disk; you're reading off the drive.
Yeah.
But hard drives fail too.
But my number one thing for coming here, and it's going to sound real corny, but it's networking. Mm-hmm. I want to network. It was great. Yesterday you came up and we were friendly and everybody else. That to me, I love going to the conventions for that. Seeing my friends that are content creators. Mm-hmm. You don't ever get to spend time in real life with them. They come to the convention. You spend the whole weekend with them. You have shenanigans all weekend long, and you just pick up where you left off. It's just like,
Yep.
I never met you before we came. So now as we grow our friendship, the next convention will be like, hey, Mike, everything's going to, the whole weekend. And I think that to me makes these conventions worth more than anything that you could possibly pick up physically to buy or anything.
So, funny story. I was walking around after me and you had talked yesterday. I was walking around just to check out what was going on the floor, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a sign I recognized. I said, oh my God, those people made it. So today, after I walked by here, talked with you guys for a second while you guys were figuring out your mic stuff, I ended up making my rounds and ran into them, and they were so happy to be here. They went to Torg, which is, it's like a swap meet for games. It's not really made for game developers. And when I met them in Sandusky, and I says, you guys are at the wrong place. I was like, what are you guys doing? And, they're amazing people. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you're game developers, right? They're like, yeah. I'm like, so you go to game developer conferences, not game swap meets. So it was funny. We talked with them for a little bit. I gave them the information for here. And a couple days later, I got an email from them saying, hey, we went ahead, signed up. We got a booth. We're going to be there. We're super excited. Well, I was just over there checking out their game. Amazing game. They're so happy to be here. And I walked around, just like you said about networking. I know a lot of these people. I've seen them year after year after year. Mm-hmm. Their game continues to get better. They're networking and no negativity. That's the coolest thing about this place is there was no negativity. Like I said, hugged, handshakes, miscellaneous.
Yeah.
And everybody's like we just seen each other last week.
You were really emphasizing that to me yesterday. And Scott, I know you didn't get to hear that conversation, but he was, we were just talking about different things that we've seen at different conventions, and I was bringing up about how, I hope this XYZ doesn't happen. I'm not going to say because it's really not. And he goes, man, this is like home. I mean, and you're right. I haven't met a bad person yet. Even the crew here that's working, like security. I went back. I had a question. I asked them. They were like, "Oh yeah, let me help you out." They weren't like, "Dude, I ain't got time for this." Mm-hmm. Even the guys that set up the stage here for us.
That's actually very comforting because I remember a certain expo I was at a couple years ago that somebody disrespected my wife, and I had to put them in their place, and then that worker got thrown out.
Yeah, like a worker was. He was telling the story. He'll have to tell you off air, but the worker totally
that bad.
Grew beer muscles overnight.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was bad. So, it's nice to see that here, and I think if you are looking for the way Chris and some of the others, and even you explained it, this is a convention for gamers. If you're not a gamer, you're not going to like it here.
No. Like I said, this is home to a lot of people. So Little Nemo's here. Little Nemo's here. He's been here for years and years and years, and his game is beautifully polished. It's not done yet, but he comes here because to him, this is like home as well.
Yeah.
He sees a lot of people, familiar faces. Everything is, it's a well-blended community. Mm-hmm. And the feedback here is amazing because you get good feedback. You don't get bad feedback. And just like I was talking about the people I met earlier at Torg and that are here now, they're a little nervous because this is their first gaming development conference that they've ever been to. And I sat there for the last hour, explaining to them the ins and the outs. And I started walking around with them and introducing them to other people, other developers. And these other developers welcomed them with open arms and said, I will help you. What do you need? Is there anything we can do? Can we help you out? We're going to come and check out your game. We're going to give you good input. We're not going to bash your game. It's your dream, and we'll help you build that dream. We'll help it blossom into whatever you want. And that is what makes GDEX unique compared to anything else I've ever been to. Even Cleveland Classic, it's cool, but it doesn't have the vibes of GDEX. GDEX is just home to me, along to a lot of other people. And once you're here a couple times, you will feel at home here.
Well, you bring up a good point because even though I haven't been there, being an artist myself and being in critiques and stuff, we may have a critique about something, but we don't tear it down. We try to say, hey, this needs to be worked on, this needs to be worked on. We're going to show you an avenue in which to improve as opposed to, oh, gosh, you suck or that sucks. No, that's not how you do it. That's not how you make somebody grow. So that's really comforting to know that it has that atmosphere.
Well, let me ask you guys something, and even the audience sitting out there. I think that a lot of times YouTubers are given a bad rap because they will put something down if the company makes them pay for something, because they've got that entitlement mentality that they feel like, well, if you're not going to give this to me, I am going to be super critical with this. And then what happens is that group of YouTubers end up ruining it for and I'll say YouTubers, but content creators in general, right? I've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. I know, Scott, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Do you think that needs to break? And how do you break something like that? How do you break that mentality and that stigma that the content creators are just out for themselves when, like you just said, I know when I go into something, like when MegaCat Studios, they sent me a couple of the games. I even backed a couple of their Kickstarters for some of the games because I enjoyed the demo that they sent.
Yes.
And I even said that to them. I was like, wow. I was like, I tried it on a CRT, and I know, don't shoot me, people, but I played it on an LCD because I have a big. You saw my game room, and I was telling them, I was like, wow, it even played really good with little to no latency, because one of them was like a shmup, and I get it. You got your purists, they got to play it on a CRT, but like that's some of the stuff that I do when I'm testing a game. I want to see it succeed.
Yes. So here's how I look at it. So I have a 3D printing company out over by Sandusky who sends me a lot of free stuff.
Okay.
He does, and I advertise it, and I don't expect him to give me everything for free. So when he did bigger models for me, I paid him for them. He was going to give them to me for free, and I said, look, as a content creator, as your friend, at this point we're friends, and now I says, I need to back your business. You can't give me everything for free, because if you do, you're taking out of your pocket for you can't guarantee. I can't guarantee that I'm going to get you hundreds of dollars worth of sales. So I always buy from him, and I do still advertise because he's a friend, and I want to see my friends succeed.
Right.
You don't take things from your friends all the time and not give back. That's not a friendship. That's being a pirate.
That's a use and abuser.
You're using and abusing your friends. And I see a lot of YouTubers and people on TikTok like this. These people gave us this for free, but did you ever think about giving back to them? Like, did you ever like you said the Kickstarters? Yeah. There's a lot of Kickstarters here. I probably put at least $200 to $300 a year into Kickstarters.
Yep.
Like the people from Torg, they had a Kickstarter. It was like $7 for their game.
Yep.
They offered it to me for free. I says, don't worry about it because you're starting off. You're really small. Let me go ahead and put the money in the Kickstarter and get the demo. I did, and I love it. I love the game. And like I said, I love knowing that I helped my friends succeed, because that's what we're all here for. Like, if you're not here to help people besides yourself, you're really not giving the community a good name. You're not doing anything good for other people besides yourself, and that, to me, is selfish.
Yeah.
Help your friends, because your friends will be there to help you.
Yeah, and I think not being skewed. Scott, how many reviews have you seen too where it's skewed because they got it for free, but they're not telling the truth? It could be the most. You could look at it and say that's the most god awful thing I've ever seen, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing. You need to go buy it."
So they're basically shilling. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. Well, I wasn't going to say that,
I think,
but it's true.
I think I've seen that on occasion, but there are some reviewers that I have watched that I can tell by the way that they're talking about things that they are putting it out there, the brass tacks. They're saying how they feel about it. But I've definitely seen ones where, they've gotten it for free and they definitely want to say everything positive they can, and then they put on the little kitty boxing gloves if there's anything that they need to critique about it, and it's just like, well, we can tell that you're either A, kissing their butt, you're shilling, or you've been told what to say or what you're not allowed to say. And I'll even go a step further with something that even Mike said, because although I do agree with trying to help out your fellow artists and that, but sometimes I think there's the really big companies, and there's one that I won't name them right offhand. I have in the past, but I've actually reached out to them before and I've said, hey, can you give me a review code for something? I don't want anything physical, even if it's just a demo, because I would like to try to get a review out at the same time as all these other people as soon as the embargo is lifted. And that's all I want to do. I'm like, even if you send me something for review and I can send it back, it doesn't have to be anything you're giving to me for free. And these guys, the particular person I was speaking to at this very, very large 50-year-old company, you know who I'm talking about?
I don't know, Scott.
This person basically told me, well, why don't you just buy it? And it's like, I've been buying crap for you for 50 years. I'm just asking for a little help here.
Yeah.
And they were being real jerks about it. Now, I did speak to somebody else on a different side of the company, and they reached out to me, and they were really, really cool because I decided to give them a second chance. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know, if there's something that we see that you want, reach out to us. And if we, I'm like I said, it doesn't have to be something for free for me. It could be a demo. It could be something you send to me and I send back. I don't care about keeping it.
Well,
it could be a timed code that will only last for 30 days. You got 30 days. Just give me enough that I can do a review, get it out, and say whether it's good or not.
Let me interrupt you there and stop you there for a second, because I don't believe when you get... No. That was a good point. And I want to add to that. You said something that I don't agree with, and that is we got this for free. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're a content creator, it is not free. How much time do you got to put in? And that's what these companies... I think there has to be instead of I value my product, but I don't value your product. Our product...
I value my time.
Our product is our time and our content creation. Yeah. You look around at what I built here and with these guys, and we built this, and we go to conventions and build this. This is a lot of time. And I will say, Chris here, he saw pictures and he says, I want that. Yeah. He appreciates it. He understands it. And he, just as much as he values his product, which is GDEX, Gary values Corgs, and he appreciates this. I value what he has. So there has to be that back and forth, like you said. If I value your product, you value my product, and we try to work together, right?
And you are right. It is not a free product, and I'm glad you brought that up, because
so many people think that's free, and I hate that.
Well, no, because I do forget about my own time, my own effort, and I'm not trying to sound like LeBron James, and he was like, "Well, I'm taking my talents to Florida." No, but I do have a large toolbox of tools that I put, whether it be for video editing, writing, what have you, and when I put that in to what I'm doing, that's my time. And if I were going to charge for that, even as a graphic designer, if I were going to charge for that on the low end, that's $40 an hour. Right. And I'm no $40 an hour guy. Not trying to sound haughty, but I'm not. I've been doing this for a long time. So when somebody goes, well, they're just getting it for free, there are people out there who are just raking stuff in. They're getting shovels and baskets of stuff for free that they never review, they never touch. They put it up on their shelf in their beautiful
and they ruin it for everybody else.
Oh, look.
Yep.
Yeah, and they do. They ruin it for everybody else who's out there really trying to say, hey, I'm trying to put out a product here, and I really want to show the good and the bad of this particular product. And there are some times where there's a game that I may not necessarily love that game myself, but there's going to be somebody out there who's going to see that and go, you know what? I may not agree with what this guy says. I want to give it a whirl for myself, and they fall in love with it.
Yeah.
I don't like RPGs, JRPGs whatsoever. You never see them on my channel, and that would be unfair for me to go, oh, okay, well, here's Final Fantasy 79. Wow, that sucks. No, I'm not the guy to be reviewing that. That's for
you just said that, and one of the audience members got up and walked away.
They're gone.
They're gone. You said you don't like JRPGs. He got up and he's like, I'm out of here.
But I don't. And there's a lot of people who don't like first person shooters.
I'm messing. He was going to walk away.
So I have.
He came back and sat down real quick. Let me get my onions out.
Yeah, he's going to get the onions for you tomorrow. So I have 3 points to make. So yesterday, sitting and listening to DB Cooper, she said there's things in your lifetime that you can never get back. She said the biggest one is time.
Yeah.
She's like, no matter what it is, time is your most valuable aspect of your entire life. You can never get it back, and it's very valuable. 2, you look at these reviews of people who get stuff for free, and just like you had talked about it, that your time is money. Gamer Amy, I believe, said something about it too.
Yep.
Is time is money. Mm-hmm. So if you're spending hours, like you said, you're a graphics creator. You don't charge $40 an hour, your time is worth something. So if you're doing hours and hours and hours, you want to be compensated for it. So even if it's free, that doesn't mean that it's free, because you're still having to do the review.
Yeah.
The big thing with it is I see a lot of these creators, they're getting revenue back if you buy from them. Like if you, like on TikTok,
Yep.
they're getting this money back. But like you'll look at this product, and you touched on it, was like you'll look at it and they'll give it the kitty gloves. They're like, oh, it's the most durable thing ever. But then you get it in real life and you drop it and it shatters to a million pieces. You're like, well, wait, what did I just buy?
What did I just buy?
Because that's a double-edged sword, because as a content creator, I want my stuff to be good. So if I drop it and it shatters, I'm going to say, hey, look what happened when I dropped this. I want my people to know that I'm an honest reviewer. I don't care if I get
absolutely.
it free, because my reputation's on the line. If I'm selling you something and I say, hey, this thing is amazing, I've dropped it 5 times, it hasn't broke, maybe 6
Yep.
it will, but 5 it doesn't break, you're going to believe me for my word. So if I upsell
It's
you
your
something,
reputation.
it's my rep.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Turn up the volume. Wait, before you do it. The volume on there is at 3 o'clock, isn't it? Turn it up to midnight. Turn it up to noon. Turn the dial so it's at noon on both of those. Because we can't hear you with headphones on. That's why I'm saying. So Toby's going to.
I actually can, and
I can hear
I'm
him
in
vaguely, but I
Toledo.
can't hear him. But the audience, the internet's not going to be able to hear him. Hang on, I got to unmute you here. Go ahead.
I think that the problem is
No, we can hear.
that's an old school style of feeling. That's called journalistic integrity. And a lot of streamers, YouTubers, reviewers, they don't have
it.
They don't have it.
They don't.
Mark, you're
don't care.
absolutely right.
They don't
100%
care.
right.
Yeah.
You
They
got to
don't- they-
understand. I come from Tom's Hardware Guide. I was writing reviews. So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, as a content
It's
creator,
great to hear, though, that you believe in that.
I do. Because I believe if you're going to sell something to somebody, it needs to actually have value. My word can be heard by one person or hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And if those 100 people buy a $5 product and expect it to perform a way, and it doesn't perform the way I advertised it because I manipulated it how it wasn't supposed to work, and people bought it because they're like, oh, I need something that does exactly that. And then they're like, well, wait a minute, you manipulated it. They're not coming to me for more advice because I'm not the person to trust. And I want to be somebody that a gamer or a kid or anybody can just be like, hey, this is awesome. So I always want to be very open and honest with my crowd.
Well, Mike, the old adage is a satisfied customer will tell 4 or 5 people, but a dissatisfied customer will tell everyone.
That's the truth, because as
I
a
think I'm messing
contractor,
him up.
as a contractor, so I work general contracting full time, is when you screw something up, that bad word travels faster than any good
Yep.
word does. And you don't want to be on that side, because like I said, when somebody starts not to trust you,
That's it.
it's done.
It's over.
I mean, look at any politician who does something wrong. Oh my God! I mean, it
And
hits
word
the front page.
travels. So like in the convention space, let's just use that as an example since we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you did one of the convention goers. Let's use Chris as an example. If we did Chris dirty for some reason, do you think that's just going to stay with Chris?
Oh no.
He's going to go to the other. He's going to see that we're advertised for a certain place, and he's going to go, "You don't want them there. This is what they did to me. They ruined the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
We have brown M&Ms in our hotel room.
You're-
Let's trash the place. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not paying you.
You're done. So I mean, the same thing with developers. Developers are going to see that.
Yeah.
They're going to know by talking to each other. So I think that we just got to be a little bit more careful. I think both sides need to be a little bit more open-minded. Like, you also have to build trust with these developers, with these companies that are making these games, because they don't know you from Adam. You can say whatever you want to them, but until they actually know you, build a relationship with them. What happened?
I'm dropping stuff on my desk.
Oh, I thought something crashed and burned.
No.
But I think that's where it's at. I think both sides need to be able to give a little bit and learn from each other, because just like I don't understand the whole the dev side and how it works. They don't understand the content creation side and what I got to go through to make something look really good.
Right, and you both have hit on something, and I want to say this especially about Chris and Gary, and I'll even go as far to even stretch this out to Brian Wiz and his team over there at Pittsburgh Gaming Expo. What we're doing here, and I'm not necessarily speaking as just my channel, but I'm saying what we're doing here when we're doing the podcast here live. They appreciate what we're doing here live, and that we're providing not just a service, but we're providing actual entertainment, and it's going out there, and it's not just staying there for just this live event, and that's it. It's staying out there on YouTube, on the internet for a long time, and if somebody wants to listen to that podcast later, they can see that, and I appreciate the fact that they appreciate that we're bringing them something, and that they realize that this is a service that is important to them and to others. So there's definitely that handshake between the both from all of us. The expo owner, and then those of us who are coming to an expo and doing these things, and that also stretches out to the developers who are there, the vendors, stuff like that. Because let's say you get a vendor who's selling something they shouldn't be selling, or you get a vendor who's not treating customers properly. They're out the door and they're not going to be invited back.
Right.
So we are a guest there, but at the same time, they have to be a gracious host.
You were going to say something. Sorry.
Oh, you're
going
fine.
to cut you out.
The great thing about Chris and this is so I've known Chris for quite a few years. We had some rocky moments during the COVID time because I didn't completely agree with how COVID was being handled with the convention center at that point. And me and him got into a heated discussion about it, and we've completely got past that. Our friendship's way better than it has ever been because of that disagreement, and that's a good thing. Friends should have disagreements every once in a while. You can't always agree with your friends on everything that they say or do.
Right.
And that's what makes friendships even bigger and better. But so this show is his passion. I mean, this is his baby. He puts a lot of time and effort. And even after the show ends, the weeks after this, he's still trying to clock back and clock down from it. So when he makes these moves, like bringing you guys in and and making these calls and getting the arcade machines brought in and making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Like yesterday, you saw Chris, and Chris saw you standing here waiting for stuff. He got you a stage, he got you seats, he made it happen. Everything happened because that's what Chris is about. Chris is about moving the world to get what needs to be done for his dream. And I love that about Chris because Chris is very passionate about this. And like I said, you got people who are very passionate about their dreams, and they will do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. This started off as a dream. Your cameras, your monitors, your speakers. This was a dream of yours.
Yep.
And through hard work and lots of money, you eventually made it a reality, which is amazing because most people would never spend the amount of money, time, and energy to learn all this and to do all this, but you did it. And people out there probably told you.
So that's
crazy.
something that I've really been thinking about after talking to you and talking to a bunch of other people. And we had a discussion yesterday. I'm not going to put it out on the internet, but I'm really seriously considering now marketing myself to go into business for myself and produce content for people. Mm-hmm. People that want to do shows like this where I'm the producer. I'm all they have to do is call into my studio. I'll do all the work. I'll put, you give me the graphics that you want to use, and we'll make you look like $1 million. And they contract with me or other things. And I know with the relationship I have with Scott, I could even sub off for him, for graphics because he's a graphics artist. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's value, and I've really, really been thinking deeply about that. To even weddings. I've done weddings with multiple cameras because nobody wants to see a camera operator in the middle of a wedding or something like that.
Yeah.
To have cameras that you can set up and be in a back room and get those intimate moments in a wedding. Imagine, you and your girlfriend, you get married and you could have a 4-camera shoot of your wedding without interrupting anything. To have that forever, I think that's something people would want to pay for. And, it's as long it's good quality, right?
Well, yeah. At my wedding, I had 7 cameras. And one was walking around. The other 6 were stationary, and I did it all myself at my own wedding. So that's
That's a heck of a room.
That's something I wouldn't mind doing myself.
Yeah.
I like your room.
Well, thank you. It's a little bit of a mess right now because I've been filming a big video.
Xbox in the back. Look at the Xbox Hue.
Yeah, I figured I'll help Daniel out a little bit. We'll get a little bit more switching involved here with the broadcast. He's learning, but to kind of learn from the cadence of somebody that does this, like when I'm sitting here switching. A lot of times when I'm doing my podcast at home, this is what I do. I switch and I go back and forth with So it's not just static, everything.
Yeah.
But he's learning. It's something. So you guys watching, if it doesn't look like it normally does, he's doing a really good job. What do we got? Some more comments here in the chat room here. But we're going to wrap this up probably in about 5 minutes, so we can take a break. So at 3 o'clock we can come back.
Yeah.
Be ready to go for the content creation, which will be a lot of fun.
And I do want to say, though, because of extenuating circumstances, I may have to cut my 3 o'clock one short.
You're not allowed. You're contracted. You're not allowed.
Marbs, that's nice, but nobody can ever cover for me. Come on, it's
Marbs is over here dancing.
He's over. He's over.
Jumping up and down on the seat.
Jumping up and down.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really welcoming to see you guys here. I mean,
appreciate that.
I mean, like you said, you've come in. It's been really welcoming. Everybody's treat you with respect, and
100%.
I mean, he'll be down here. Are you coming down tomorrow?
Scott is, yes.
Yeah,
Scott
yes, I'll be there tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, my wife went out to start her car, and the battery is dead. So I have to take care of that as soon as I get off of this broadcast.
We'll send Marbs down there to help you.
Marbs started walking towards the door. He was like, I'm going to go. He's like, I'll go pick.
It'll take me all of 2 seconds. Just real quick, here's what's causing it. We have a recall on that vehicle, and the recall is being taken care of on Monday. That's what's draining the battery. So I charged it up the other day and it was fine, but it drains the battery after a few days. So I'll be charging it tonight wherever I'm going. I'll be charging it tonight. I just got to zap it and drive on down to Troy this afternoon.
So then when are you going to, maybe you can borrow the in-laws car while you're to drive over here, so that way, you don't have to worry about the battery dying.
Well, the car's just going to sit for 1 day, so.
So you can just so if it sits for multiple days, that's when it conks out.
Well, it hasn't been sitting for multiple days. It just decides whatever the recall is. It's a harness, and that harness has to be replaced. And it decides, I'm going to go ahead and drain your battery now. So, yeah.
If we see him out there with jumper cables,
we know what happened.
Yep. So I'll be taking my battery charger with me tonight, and I'll be plugging it up in my father-in-law's garage, charging it up. So there you go.
So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap this up here, so we can rest our voice and come back here strong at 3 o'clock to talk about content and what we do and how to get going with this. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Those that are sitting here, if you hear us, you've been walking around and you were listening to us, really appreciate it. Scott, what I would say is, when we shut this down, just if you have to go about doing stuff, just mute your mic and leave yourself on for. It's not going to hurt anything. We'll have everything up. That way, we know everything's working come 3 o'clock. We're not scrambling trying to fix everything. So guys on YouTube, I got to reschedule it for 3 o'clock after this, but you'll see it pop up, scheduled for 3 o'clock, content creation, and we'll be back. I appreciate you jumping on with us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, anytime, man.
We'll see you tomorrow, Mike.
We got a long
See
weekend.
you tomorrow. Good luck with the car.
We'll see you this afternoon.
Now, you just said see you tomorrow. He ain't going to come around now the rest of the weekend.
I got to get onions. I gotta go find a freezer.
You got to do that. That'll be hilarious.
Soak the onions in the water and put them in a freezer overnight.
Well, it's funny that he mentioned the freezer because our freezer is not freezing stuff right now. We live in an apartment.
Well, you're just having all kinds of problems here.
I'm telling you, here in a few minutes we're going to be seeing snakes coming out of the vents.
Well, we don't want that.
So did you make a bad review on your refrigerator?
He probably did.
Yes, it was a really crappy Frigidaire, and they wouldn't give me one for free, so I told him it was crap.
Yeah, we're gonna walk around and see what's all here because we haven't checked anything out. So, but again, we really appreciate you guys. We're not gonna have any kind of fancy exit because these, they're still learning. So maybe that'll be in the next one. So we're gonna end the YouTube. We really appreciate it. We'll see you guys at 3 o'clock.
See you later.
See you guys later.